Unit 2, data types, constants, and variables. So our behavioral objectives include, at the end of this unit, students should be able to, 1, explain basic data types used in C programming language. You should also be able to differentiate between a variable, constant, and literals. This you should be able to know. And then you should be able to declare variables and constants correctly. Then you are going to make use of the hash define and the const keyword to create constants. Then you are going to write and execute a simple C program using data types and constants. So that's the aim and the objective of this practical. The key concept aspect here now talk about all the theoretical aspects of the course. The theoretical background you need to know. First, we start with the data types. You know, we discuss about data types. Said we have a number of data types here. These are also known as primitive data types. These data types come together with the C language. We have int, which is for integer, whole numbers. For example, we have 18. And float is for decimal numbers that are not too large. The smallest set of decimal numbers. Then we have char for a character, single character. We have double for large numbers. Now this char, sometimes we use, we have a function known as char, but that is for strings. We have a string function known as char, and it's used to extract the string values or literals. Okay, as we progress, we will look at that. We didn't mention string here because string is a class. String is a class, and that class has its own functions, or we have what we call instance of classes in object-oriented programming language. If you can recall, a class instantiates objects, and one of these objects is what I'm mentioning here, that you will have a char object, char, and it's used to extract string. Okay, so don't be confused when we start seeing it or using it, and you may be expecting that char is just for a single character. Anyway, when we come to that, you also see the difference clearly. Okay, now the string, like I say, is not mentioned here, but it's also a data type. But in this aspect, we don't treat it together with data types here. We treat it as a class. Okay, variables, constants, and literals. We talked about this already, and I'm just going to rehearse. It's a variable is a name given to its place in your memory where you are going to store your value. It can be an integer, it can be a float, it can be of type char, or a double, it can be of any data type. Then constant refers to a memory that stores a value, but the value is unchangeable. The value is going to be permanent. Once you assign a value to that memory location, you cannot change the value again. The value remains constant, as the name implies. Then a literal refers to that actual value you are assigning to either a variable or a constant. You understand? So if you assign any value to a constant or to a variable, that value that you are assigning to those let's say variable or constants, that is what we refer to as a literal. So it can be of any data type depending on what you declare. We also went further to look at declaring constants. That is during our theory classes. We look at how we can declare constant. And we have two ways of defining or declaring constant. We have the The first one as what? Using the hash define keyword. For example, hash define marks student 100. So the mark student here is our variable name, while 100 here is what? The value. And that is a constant value assigned to it. Which means the maximum number of students, by interpretation, the maximum number of students is 100 and not less or more than that. Okay. Then method 2 now uses the const keyword. Const keyword now is used together with the data type. If we use const keyword, you must also specify the data type. For example, float, and then the variable name, or the constant name rather, because we are not talking about variable again, we are talking about constant. So like here we have VAT as the constant, then the value that is assigned to it, and this value is also fixed, nothing to change. I hope you get that. So we now have the aspects where you are going to carry out the practical, and this is called practical activities, which you have to do. Practical activity 1, declare and print data types. This program will declare variables and then print them, as you can see. So now let's go to our VS Code, create a file under here. Let's create a file by name what? Data types, right? Let me use small letters. Always use small letters. Data types. Normally we save it with dot what? Dot C, right? Okay. Since we didn't specify, we need to also specify the language here. Let's specify the language here and then start typing. I like to place this side by side, or I'll simply just copy the code. Let me place it side by side and type into the okay. Alright, so now I can reduce this one this side so that I can type it there directly. Okay, we use hash. Where is my hash? It's found there. Hash include what? std, right? std dot stdio dot h is already there. We can pick it. Press enter and then we see it. Press enter again. By virtue of what we see there, line 2 is empty, so let's move to line 3. Int main, open and close brackets. Then your curly brace opens there. Inside it, you will type int age equals to what? 20. Alright? And as a C program, you must end the statement with a semicolon. Press enter. Then we are going to declare a variable float. Float what? GPA. GPA equals to what? 3.45. The next one is what? Car grade equals to what? Equals to A. Well, let's use B now. Let's use B. Use B. Come out of that quote and then put your semicolon. Press enter. the other aspect of it, this side, we are going to print. Is that all? I think we were talking about 3 or 4. Okay, double, right? Double is just a version, a higher version of float. So we will not necessarily include it here. Even if we include, it doesn't make any difference. Let's just say double. You see how we do it, but first of all, you state the data type and then the name. Double. What name do we give it to it? Double. What do we say? Average. Let's say average. AVG is equals to. Okay. It have assigned a value there automatically. So let me just select this value. Okay. All right. Let me go to the next line. Print F. Print as formatted. Age in quote. Age in quote, right? Age. Let's use capital letter H. One good thing I love with the VS Code is that it gives us suggestions. It gives us a lot of suggestions. If you are pleased with the suggestions, then you can accept it. Alright, you see that yes, and then that is correct there. So let's just place. We just press what? Shift, sorry, the tab key. And then we see the next one, printf GPA, is the same thing that we have. So yes, just select it. I suggested it there. The next thing is we are going to type return. Like you still move down before you type return. Return 0. Why do we return it? Because of this function. Before we close the function, we have to return a value because the function started with the return type, which is int. So normally every function must return, except if you don't want to return a value, you must use void. But for the main function, and the main function must be in your program in order to execute. If it is not there, it cannot execute, so you must include the main function in your program. That is why we have int main. Any of your program, I hope you see the syntax. Okay, we discussed the syntax already, so there's no need to bother ourselves. So we have not saved this. If we observe what is here, have you seen it? Look at this round point there. So if we save it, update your save by pressing Ctrl S from the keyboard. Now it has changed. You see how it has changed, huh? So this thing now you can click on it and close the file anytime. But then we need to run it. CMD. So we can open the file from there. This file. Change directory to what? CD desktop. Then we have what's the folder name there? com121 CD com121 underscore practical. Practicals. Yes. The system cannot find it. Com121. Okay, there's a space. Com121. Space 121 underscore practicals. Yes, it's there now. Have you seen it, right? Yeah. So now we'll open the program. What's the name? DataTypes .c. It means we did not give it. Okay. Let's see what is there. Data types. Data types. Data types. Cannot open because we did not specify. It means we have to go and work on this file. So how do we edit the file name now? Let's close it and go to this. Where is the folder? It's like the folder has not even been opened in a while. Open the folder from desktop. Where is the desktop? Where is it? This one, huh? Select it. Okay, here is it. Let's change this file name from here. I don't think it should be. Let's close it first. Rename. Let's rename it. Data types dot C. Let's enter. Okay, the file extension is important. Do you know that? So it's open now. The file extension is important. There's no light on your end, huh? Alright. So you come this side and see what is happening. Let's go back to the light is back. The light is back, so just put that thing on. Put the projector on so that you can see it from there. Okay, we now type the data type. Data types dot C. I'm happy that I omitted that thing because now you can see how to debug. You see how you can debug your code. But when you came here your first semester, we were talking about debugging, and you were wondering what we mean by debugging. This semester we have started debugging ourselves, so you can see it. Alright, now the program is open here, the code is open here, but that doesn't stop. We are yet to run it. So in this C++ development environment, we can just come here, compile and run, or you just press F11 on the keyboard. And you sit down here, observe what is happening here. It is running. It has compiled already and then it has started running. It has run. Everything is shown on the screen here. Have you seen it? It runs completely without errors. Age has been given as 20, GPA 3.45, grade B, average as what? 85.75. And that is all. So you may be wondering why we still have this for double, average for double, still having 85.75. There are just two decimal places just like you have here. You may not understand, but this now gives you, this double gives you opportunity to have a larger or a more precision in your values. That is, it allows you to write the decimal places up to, you can have like 85.0000121 like that, 75. You understand? As long as you put in HT, this allows you to pick the most precise value. You understand? By just saying 3.45 than just saying 3.45. If you just say 3.45, you pick, you will do what we call rounding up. You understand? Rounding up. Now, if you are to round up this to a float value, you simply just say this is 85.0, because the remaining portions here, they are irrelevant. Even if you say you round up to how many decimal places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you still get a 0. If you round it up to 6 decimal places, you still have 85.0000001. You understand? So, but for when you want to be very precise, then you use double. I hope that is clear. So that's just the reason why we use double. Now we can save this and print. You can work on it yourself. If you work on it by yourself and you try to put the values, can you see now? By precision, we have just 8.00. It's as good as saying 85.00. Exactly. So that's that. Okay. I think that's just one aspect of it. Let's move back. Let me close this window now. Let me go to our manual. Okay, the next activity we are going to carry out is for constants. Use constants. And this is how we use the constants. Write this program, max score. Is defined max score is what? 100. You will notice that while using define, you don't need to end the statement with a semicolon. But when you are using const, you end it with a semicolon. You understand? Okay, now define max score now is declared as a header file. It's declared together with the header files. You understand? Just like you include the header files on top here, include stdio, standard input and output header file. Okay. You have a question? Just put down your question you ask later. Let's proceed. We are going to create another file here. Click here and then click here to create another file by name what? Constants. Make sure the names shouldn't be, you know how to name your variables, right? Your variable names must not be a keyword. So we don't have anything as constants as keyword. Constants.c. Press enter on the keyboard. You can start typing #define, or you can start by using what? #define. Press enter there. Is it #define rather? #include. Okay. #include std. right? .h. I've been writing programs in C++. We use #include IOString. Yes, that's what we have been using. But here we use stdio.h. Then we now include, we use hash define, right? Hash define max. Use capital letters now. Max. Is it max score? No. I think we use max student. Max student. Max student 100. Okay. No need for a semicolon. So if you have other constant that you want to name, you can just put them there. It's suggesting many of them there, but in this case we don't need them. So we move next. You see how it's suggesting? See how it's suggesting? So if you want to be fast, use what do we have? The VS Code. Let me accept this one, then edit to have what I want. If it doesn't match with what we have here. Okay, inside the main function we have const float, but this one. Permit me to copy this line. Copy this one. Enter here and paste it there. Const float. Then the next thing, let me squeeze this thing small and then squeeze this one. So that we can have it's going to print marks, okay, maximum number of students. Okay, we are using max score. Okay, all right, no problem. We are using max score. Don't worry. So let me change to what we have here so that we can know what we're doing. We're not using max student or max score. So you can just edit max score. Is it max score that we're using, right? Max score is like that. Then we have float var equals to that, print max score. So we're going to edit this max score, max score, max score d comma max score. You see that this thing is underlining. I wish I make this as big as possible so that you look at it. What I will do is I will squeeze this one, let it come under this. This one is large enough for us to see. And this one like this. Do you know why this is underlined red? What is it? Very good. The variable name does not exist. It's not found. I hope we are safe with that with this name. Huh? Why is it red like this? We'll try to find out later anyway. I think we don't have any keyword like constants in C language. Okay, so we're going to write the right thing here. Max score instead of max students. Max score. Max score rather. Max score. I'll select that one. Print max score as formatted. Then you are going to print VAT as formatted. Okay, that one is correct. Okay, to 3 significant figures, that's why we have 3F there, because it's a double value. This one is having 3 decimal places, 0, 7, 5. So if we change this to 2, it's going to be 0, 8. We're going to round this one up. You can use that, you can do that by yourself and see. Because of this 3, it's going to give us 3 decimal places. If you add this, if you like, you just add 1 to it before. Let's make it flexible so that we can see what's going to happen there. Then this one is there, and that is the end of the program. We are returning no value, so we return 0 as usual. I hope you get it. So we are going to put the output here, but we're going to run it. Okay, can you see that this file name is correct now? Do you know where the problem was coming? Yes, this one was wrong. Once there's an error in this program, even the file name indicates that there's an error. Okay, let's point here, show code action line this thing. Okay, anyway, leave that one. Next, we are going to run this using our normal way, our usual way, which is CMD. Type command prompt here, command prompt, open it. Change directory CD to what? Desktop. You know where you save your file, alright? Yeah. Desktop. Yes, desktop have been activated. Change directory to what? Com space 121 underscore practicals. Is accepted, has been activated. Next is the program name. So this we have what? Constant dot C. Press enter. Then it will open from the. It's going to open the. It's going to open the IDE. I think it should be open already. Okay, it's open already. This is the program we wrote, right? Now observe something here which I want us to take note of it. You see that hash include, which is just a header file, is made to be faint together with this one. The first 2 lines on top they are fainted. Have you seen that? This tells that these are only libraries that are going to be included in the program. They are not the actual code, but they are supportive parts or components of the program for the program to run. This is where the actual program starts, from the int main down to this place. You understand? As you move forward, you will have other programming languages. You will meet other programming languages that does not necessarily need that you include such things. At least at the initial stage, you don't need to include this, but you just need to type your program straight away. And it gives you more flexibility to create functions as you wish to create them. So in this environment, we can easily run our code here, compile and run. Normally you compile before you run. If you just click on run, it must it's going to inform you that you must have to compile. So let's click on run here and see. You see the prompt bar? Have you seen it right? Source file is not compiled. So this is a compiled language. C is one of the compiled languages. You must compile it. Compilation has to do, I think is it not in this class we discussed compilation? The compilation has to do with compiling the whole program from top down to the last line of code. And during compilation, errors are being detected if there is any, or if there are errors. So that is why you must compile. So when we come here, you can either come here to do compile, that's press F9. Once you finish compile, when we finish writing the program, just press F9 and it's going to compile. It's going to compile everything. Okay, it has compiled already. Time taken 56 seconds, and there are no errors. No errors. Zero errors. Zero warning. Output. Everything is there. Constant.exe. Have you seen it there? Then you can now press F11. Okay, sorry. To run is F what? Sorry, this one. F10. F10. You press F10 from the keyboard and it's going to run the program. Maximum score is 100. VAT is 0.0750. Because of that 3F, we added to it. Have you seen it now? So if we can come back here and change this to 3 or to 2, for example, change it to 2. That's, you want it to take only 2 decimal ones. 2 decimal ones. Places. Okay, that is dot 2F. Now let's compile again. F9, right? F9 compiles first. That's compiled again. 47 seconds. Then F10 now runs the program. Have you seen 0.08? Why is it 0.08? When we're having 0.075, it has rounded up the third digit to what? It has rounded the second digit to 8 because of the third digit, which is above 5. Oh, sorry, above 4. Okay, we are moving ahead. Okay, I think that is all for this practicals with the activities we have. There are 2 activities there for us to do. The next thing that is scheduled for you is, okay, after you put the, you now put down the output here. After that, you have some tasks here to perform. First, write a program using int, float, and char to store your age, height, and grade, which is similar to what we did initially. Then declare a symbolic constant for your school name using #define. You can also edit the program we wrote. Declare a symbolic constant for your school name using what? #define. That is in this program, like we had it here. Your #define here should now be what? You can now write your #define. Then you write what? Your school name, which is what? Harry Pass Polytechnic. Harry Pass Poly. Just leave it that way. You don't need to. Okay. What we do is we assign a value to it. Let's say school. Understand?
Yeah.
Then give a space and write that records. This constant is going to be of type string. Do you know that? So we just put the quote. Repass polytechnic. Omitted O. Polytechnic. Let me leave it there. Not semicolon, because it's going to be on the top there. So let's now output it together with this. Let's now print. Supposing we are using VS Code, it should have suggested how we are going to, how best we should print this one. Print formatted. Print formatted. What? School. Or name of school. If you write, just write name my school. Name of my school. It's going to be a string. How do we format a string? Okay. Let's just put it that way. Let's just have it that way. Then what? School. Now that was the name, right? And then what? Semicolon now. Save it. You save first, then compile. F9. There's an error. So let's go back to this file, to VS Code, and find out and debug it from there. Okay. Let me go back to Okay, let's now press F9 to see. There is an error again. This is where programming is most interesting. Character cannot be too long for its type. We have an issue with line 10. The character cannot be too long for its type. So how possible do we debug this? Const char. Okay, suggesting that we should have used const char instead of define. But the question was to do what? We have to do what? Declare a symbolic using as defined. Okay. How possible can we do that? Okay, I think I deliberately leave this one to test it. Let me see if that is the reason. Maybe this is the reason why this thing is not double quotes. That's the reason why giving us headache. If not, wow, it has compiled now without error. Without error again. Do you notice where the error was coming from? We made it to be type char. I was forgetting that. You know, there's the issue with programming. When you stick with a programming language and you are working with it, you get used to the syntax of that programming language. I'm a teacher and I do teach many programming languages. Why I'm teaching C programming language, I'm also teaching Python programming language. I'm also teaching PHP programming language. And none of them have the same syntax. So for Python, if you use this, if you use single quotes, it will accept as character or for string. But for this programming language, you cannot use that. We only use single quote for what? For character. Pick a character, and the character must be a single character. That's the rule. You understand? So when you have challenges with your code, don't give up easily. I know many people who write programs like me, I don't like to get errors in my program. But you cannot avoid errors in your program. Errors must come so that you can do what? Debug and correct the program. Correct the errors in your program. Initially I left that. I just wanted to put it to omit that to see what will happen. And I easily forget. So if you know that this is the rule, don't try to outsmart your program to do that. Okay, F10 now. So you can even include a place, Aripas Polytechnic, Boku, Benue State, Nigeria. You understand? And it will appear there. Okay, so I've just done part of the job which you need to do. I've done the job. So when you go, you just do that. Use Const to store a fixed tax value like this one, 0.05, and print it. So your code is going to appear here. You are going to write it.